Good morning. You're watching Donna. This is Much Ado About Something. I'm glad you're here today. You're in the right place. Well, today is January 16th. Yep, it's day 16. And you know what that means. We're still doing the Three Rivers Challenge, the Pantry Challenge, and this is January 16th. And so I'll be sharing with you today. The two of the grandchildren are here today that I keep on a regular basis. And so one of them wants eggs, and the other one had pancakes that I just heated up. Pancakes that I had already fixed and just had to heat up. And so one's having pancakes and one's having eggs. Now I have eggs from my chickens. These are the few eggs that I've got from my chickens. They're not laying a lot because it's winter time, but I do have these 3 eggs this morning. So I'm going to heat this pan up with a little bit of seasoning in here, and I'm going to put these eggs in, and this is what he's going to have for breakfast this morning. Now, with fresh eggs, I always like to just put them individually in a bowl and make sure that they're all good. This particular grandchild loves the yolks of eggs. So he wants to make sure he has plenty of good yolks. Look how good and dark gold those look. Let me throw the coffee grounds from Donald's Coffee this morning and the egg yolks. Throw them on in here. I'll just put a little bit of salt on these eggs. He likes his yolk a little bit runny, so those are almost perfect. I'll let the whites cook just a little bit, and then I'll plate those up for him. And that's breakfast for one of my little grandkids today. That's what I like about my grandkids, is they know what we have on hand. They know what they like to eat at Grammy's, and eggs is one of their favorites. Oh, good morning. Are you all done with your waffles? With your pancakes?
Cupcakes.
I don't have a cupcake. We just have pancakes. You want a yogurt?
Cupcakes.
Oh, yeah. We have one that's finished with her yogurt. Her pancakes, and she might want yogurt, so we'll see about that. All right, we've got a breakfast for one here. You ready for breakfast?
Yes.
What do you want? Would you like some orange juice? You want to go down on the steps and get the orange juice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go.
You see where they're at down there? Okay. You can have a Yoo-hoo or an orange drink, whichever one you want, okay? Got Yoo-hoo? He doesn't need a sippy cup, but because we have so many spills going on around here, and because one of our grandchildren's handicapped and she loves to snatch the drinks, we are careful about trying to always have a lid on our drinks so that they don't get spilled, right, David?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to let you go ahead and pour your drink. Do you need help putting the lid on that?
Yep.
Does breakfast look delicious?
Yep.
Do you want any bread or anything to go with that?
No.
Just your eggs?
Yep.
That's nutritious. Eggs is one of the world's most perfect foods.
Wait, what?
It's got plenty of good protein in it.
Yep. Cause I like them.
Yeah, I do too.
Taste so good. Hey, come back here, yo. Taste so good.
They do taste good. They're one of my favorites.
Hmm. Got my hits too.
I'll share with you an Angelina moment. She's just relaxing here on the cat tower in front of the window with her sweet little pretty face.
There's the
So we got the two grandchildren their breakfast this morning, even though it's close to lunchtime. When they get here, we just go ahead and serve them breakfast, or I just let them choose whatever they want. It makes it easier that way from what I have, from what they're able to choose from. Now, I didn't post yesterday because one of my sons and one of my little grandsons came and they took me out to eat for lunch, and we spent the day together. We did some sketching and we just hung out for a little while together. And then when Donald got home, he wanted to go out and get hot dogs. So there we are. We ate out yesterday. I guess when I make my rules for next year's pantry challenge with the Three Rivers Challenge, I'm going to have to include dates with my loved ones, because those are the days that I don't cook when they want to come and scoop me up and take me somewhere. Well, I'm all for that, because that's just a precious time together. And so that happened yesterday, so I didn't have anything to share. And the day before was just leftovers. And we do eat a lot of leftovers. I made those big that big thing of biscuits here, and so I still have some of those biscuits left. Donald's been enjoying those with apple butter. I guess I could have shown that. He likes to make a little breakfast out of those biscuits and apple butter. He did that Sunday. He made biscuits and apple butter, so. And I've just been nibbling here or there. I haven't really even fixed a meal. I think I made a toasted cheese sandwich one day, and just simple things, nothing worth really making a video about this today. Now, Donald will not be eating dinner here at home tonight. He'll be eating dinner with work, so I am probably going to just eat something really light for dinner. Maybe even something that wouldn't be considered a whole dinner, but just something light and easy. I'm not even going to worry about it. Maybe a yogurt and a piece of toast. So I'm not cooking today, even out of the pantry. It's one of those days that I'll kind of have an easy day with that. I will fix the two grandchildren that are here, and the two that are coming. I'll fix something. And if I fix something out of the pantry, I'll sure share that with you. But they'll probably make a bowl of cereal or something simple, and then they'll go home and eat with their parents. But I did want to check up with you. Just share with you, because I am part of that challenge, and when there's big whole days missing, I didn't want you to feel like I had neglected to touch base with you. Well, this, if you've been watching me cook here on my pantry challenge, you know that I have come to the end of my bouillon cubes here. I don't know if you guys do this or not, but what I do with products like this, it take me a while to eat up. Now, I've had this for a while. These bouillon cubes. Let me see if I can find an expiration date on them. So I've had these for quite a while. I think the expiration date is best if used by September of 2024. So I've already used these up. I've just got these few here, and I will lay them out and use them, and use the oldest up first. Now, I've had these in my pantry for quite a while. At least over a year, because I don't use these a lot. They're processed. And I was looking over the package. I always look over the package to see if you get as much in ounces, the new one, as you did the old one. And so that's about the same. We'll take a minute here and I'll show you what I always compare with on my packages. So this is 32 ounces or 2 pounds. And the new one that I picked up yesterday is 32 ounces or 2 pounds. Now this is a stock item that I have in my pantry. I won't be using these during the pantry challenge because I'll have plenty here left that I'll use up. So I'm still using what I have in my pantry because I'll use these that's in here first. But I didn't want to be without them. I didn't want to run out, so I picked up a new one yesterday when I went to get flowers for a friend of mine. Well, I noticed on here that these are still Members Mark, but these were by the Tones brand. So Tones brand made a Members Mark brand for Sam's. And I've just looked over the package and the ounces were the same. It was not the same. They are no longer made by the Tones brand, or if they are, they no longer advertise that. So here it still says Members Mark, but it doesn't have the Tones logo on them. So there's a difference in the packaging. And then I noticed on the back, you know, I always read the ingredients of everything that I cook with, everything that I eat. I read the ingredients. And so we rolled these two over. And what I noticed about the old one was there was only 12 ingredients. There was 12 ingredients in the old bouillon cubes that I used. And they were made in Guatemala. And here's all the information about it. And right here are the ingredients. So here you go. There were 12 ingredients here. And what I noticed about the new bouillon cubes was that there were now 25 ingredients, where there used to be 12. There are now 25. And there were two things that I really watch. I always watch sugar, MSG. That's what monosodium glutamate is. Well, now they have canola oil and they have maltodextrin, which kills the mitochondria around your cells. So I certainly want to limit that ingredient. The old bouillon cubes did not have maltodextrin in there, but the new ingredients does. So there was an ingredient that I'm not really crazy about added to the bouillon cubes that I like to use. They are now a product of Mexico instead of Guatemala, and they are containing a bioengineered food ingredient. It didn't tell me what that bioengineered food ingredient was. It just lets me know that there's a bioengineered food ingredient now in the bouillon cubes, which was not here the last time I bought the bouillon cubes. So you see, I just like to take the labels and compare and see what I used to get compared to what I'm getting now. And I used to get 12 ingredients in this bouillon cube, and I'm now getting 25 ingredients, some of which are bioengineered in this bouillon cubes. I like to be informed. I like to know what I'm eating. I'm one of those people that like to know what's in my food. And I like to know how it's made, so I'd like to research how it's made. And so that's why I always compare whenever I finish one container and I buy another container of product. I always like to compare, am I getting the same amount for how much difference in money? They were a little higher than they used to be, but it wasn't that much. But it was the same size package. And I also like to know what has changed in the ingredients there. because there are some things that if I know are in there, like that maltodextrin, I will not eat near as much of these as I have, because that's an ingredient I don't want a lot of in my body. I watch that in everything I eat. There's caramel color, there's other things not in this, but other ingredients that I'm really trying to keep out of my diet. So I bought those bouillon cubes to replace what I had here in my my little spice cabinet, because I do like to add 1 or 2 of these to big pots of soup. It just adds a depth of flavor, and it helps me, with the salt content and everything. I use those, but I'll be using a lot less of those than I have been. And things sometimes change. They just really change, don't they? And that's one of the things when you take things out of their original containers and you put them into containers like this. Of course, these are basic herbs that I know I can buy without them being changed. And a lot, I grow and dry myself, like the dried pepper flakes and some of the other stuff, I buy those myself. So, I grow them myself, so I know what's in them. But when you take things out of their original packages, you're losing a lot of information on the back of a package. You're losing information that you will never remember. I will never remember that this only had 12 ingredients and what those ingredients were. But by leaving them in their package, I'm able to refer back to what is in this bouillon cubes. And by keeping this package, and when I bought the new one, I was able to compare. Did I have a shrinkage problem? No, they didn't shrink the package. It was the same amount of ounces, but they did change the packaging as to what company they were coming from. This was coming from the Tones. That's a well-known spice company. They make many things. And the Members Mark, they made it for Members Mark. Now it's just a Members Mark package, and it's not made in Guatemala by Tones. It is now made in Mexico, and it didn't say by whom, but it was made for Sam's by Members Mark. And I was able to see the difference in ingredients and keep up with the ingredients and what I'm putting into my body. Now that might be a long spiel. I don't know if you're interested in that. If you always read the packages on your food, if you're curious and you want to know what you're eating, what's in your food, leave me a comment down below and let me know. Share that with me so I can know that there's other people out there that says, that likes to keep up with it the same way I do. I know that's why a lot of people like to grow their own food, because they know exactly what they've put into it. They know exactly what's on it, how it's been preserved, what they're eating when they eat it. And so I get that. We're here in the city. There's no way we could grow all of our food. We do grow a big portion of it. And I love to do that. I love to know what's in my food. I love to grow it, preserve it, keep up with it when it's possible for me. It's not always feasible, and it's not always feasible for a lot of people that's working all the time, working full-time jobs. They can't grow all their food. Maybe they don't have a place to do it, and they're reliant on the food system. But if you can empower yourself with the knowledge that's on those labels, of course, now there's trickery in those labels. It's like natural seasonings. I think that is on there. Natural flavorings. Well, we don't know what those natural flavorings are, do we? Dirt is a natural flavoring, right? I'm not saying dirt's in here. I'm just saying, just because it says natural, maybe it's not on this one, but it was on the other one. It had natural flavors. And we don't know what those are. I don't know what those natural flavors are. That could be anything. So your packaging information's limited, but it's pretty much governed by law, and it does tell you quite a few things if you make the effort to read on there and know what you're eating. Now I've got this beautiful pumpkin down here. It was harvested in the fall, and I've got to figure out how to eat it. The Pantry Challenge is an excellent way to figure out a way to eat this delicious pumpkin. I love pumpkin just like potatoes. I love to take it and chop it up and put it on a pan, put a little salt and pepper on it, and roast it with butter in the oven. To me, it's delicious, so we won't have a problem eating some of it for a side dish and making a few things out of it. I don't want to make a lot of sweets. I don't want to make a lot of breads. I don't want to make a lot of pies or anything like that because I'm avoiding the sugar. It's not something that I want to eat a lot of. But there are other dishes that I can make with this pumpkin, so I'm going to either have to figure out that in the pantry challenge or preserve it because it'll keep for quite a while down there. But I want to get it at the peak of its freshness. I want to go ahead and use it for something because it's so good. But that little pumpkin will be something I'll have to include in my pantry challenge. I'm trying to think of what I want to make with it that's not a sweet. I'm trying to avoid too much sugar, so I don't want to make anything real sweet. Now, this morning is a cold morning. It did freeze last night. Yesterday, we had snow flurries. I know a lot of places, especially in the mountains there above us, got a lot of snow. They got like 8 inches of snow here and there. But we only got a few flurries, but it was pretty while it lasted. But it's cold. It's really cold outside this morning. It's a cold winter day. But I enjoyed getting out in it yesterday and just seeing a cold winter day. I don't mind the cold as long as it's within reason and as long as you can still get around. The snow is beautiful. We didn't have just a few flurries, but I enjoyed it with my son and my little grandson, one of my sons, and one of my little grandsons yesterday. It was just a good time of hanging out and getting a few things done, so it was a good day. I hope you're having a good day wherever you're at, and today it'll be just a simple day of heating up leftovers, making something simple. I don't really have a lot of food to show you today. Not as many people eating here as they normally do today. So I am limited to what I can share with you in the food and what's coming out of my pantry. But I will be eating from my pantry probably this afternoon. I'll do a loaded baked potato, which means I'll just take a few potatoes and wash them really good. I'll just wash them up really good. I've got some russets here. I've got some little red potatoes too that I like to stew and mash those little red potatoes. But I'll just wash these up and bake a potato for me. And I'll probably have one of these big old loaded baked potatoes with cheese and butter and sour cream and onions, salt and pepper, and just load these things up. And that's what I'll have for dinner tonight. I love potatoes any way they're made. My daughter was saying that she made a delicious potato soup out of Yukon Gold potatoes. I love Yukon Golds too, and they do make a delicious potato soup. But I'm not particular. I'll eat any kind of potatoes. I love potatoes, and they're delicious in so many varieties of ways that you can fix a potato that makes it delicious. I mean, fried, homemade fries, homemade chips. I mean, there's mashed potatoes, potato cakes, potato soup. There's just baked potatoes. There's stewed potatoes. There's a lot of ways to make potatoes, so I love them all, but I am limited in those two as carbs, but I will have it for dinner tonight since I didn't have many carbs for lunch today. I will certainly eat one of these potatoes and make a loaded baked potato. That's what I'll have tonight. And these are good sized potatoes. They're big. Well, I'm going to wind it up today. Thank you for joining me for the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. I have really realized that I don't have as much I'm pulling out of the pantry as I generally do. Now, I have a lot of canned things. I have green beans. I have a lot of different canned things that we are eating out of our pantry. It's just right here at this period, we're not eating quite as much as we generally do. But with my baked potato tonight, I will be eating some of those pickles that I showed you before. That will be something that I will eat, and they're pickled, so they'll be delicious as a side with a baked potato that's loaded with all the things I aforementioned there. These little things will be good, add a good vinegary taste there to a side dish, and I try to include something like a homemade pickle or a sauerkraut or something like that whenever I eat a potato, just to get the fiber and the good gut microbes and try to keep it a little healthier. And I enjoyed sharing and just showing you. It's not as much as I thought it would. Generally, I cook a lot more than this, but I guess in the month of January, it's just kind of a catch-up kind of month, and I see people that I didn't get to see at Christmas and spend time with people that that have worked it in for the new year. So I'm not just making as many big meals as I normally do, but I'll share with you in the Pantry Challenge, whatever I make from the pantry. And I thank you for joining me today and hanging out with me and let me share with you the importance of reading the label and comparing what you bought last time with what you're getting this time, price-wise, ingredient-wise, and all the information that's on the product package. Thank you for letting me share that with you today. I hope you have a really good day, and like always, until next time.